All right, we're live.
I picked up Taysom Hill on that team.
All right, we're back to live.
Yep.
All right, we had a brief interruption, but before that happened, we were talking about Ernest Johnson.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Yep, we are.
Is still live?
Yep.
We were talking about Ernest Johnson. I personally think Ernest Johnson is the highest upside guy that we've talked about on the waiver wire list so far. Because everyone else, I mean, they're kind of like decent floor guys, but not a lot of ceiling. Maybe Penny has a decent ceiling. But to me, Ernest Johnson could be a guy that you pick up this week, and if things go the right way, he could be a top 10 running back the rest of the way for your final 2 weeks of the playoffs.
Yeah, he was a stud whenever it was just him.
Yeah.
He honestly kind of started to make me feel like he could get a real job outside of Cleveland, or if let's say that
he could.
Let's say that Kareem Hunt moves on.
Yeah.
He'd basically, I would assume, take that spot. But I would love to see him as a starting running back on another team because he looked like a real deal stud.
Yeah, and I think at this point in your fantasy seasons, those are the kind of guys that you want to take a chance on off of the waiver wire. Unless you have someone that got hurt or someone that's on the COVID list or something and you just have to replace them with the best available. If you don't need to do that, take a chance on someone with high upside like Ernest Johnson.
I mean, he had just 4 carries this past week. He got 22 yards, 6 yards a carry every single time.
Yeah, he's a good running back when he gets.
And
the
that's how it was
opportunity.
whenever he was the starting guy. He was very efficient with everything that he got his hands on.
Right. I mean, to me, if you're picking him up, you're saying I don't need to start someone this week, but I have a bench spot that I want to stash someone, and this is a guy that you could stash, and next week or maybe the following week, if he has a starting job, you're putting him in your starting lineup because he's a top 10 running back.
I was telling Ben early in the season because he has him in our fantasy league, and he drafted him, or he picked him up for $90 as a handcuff to Nick Chubb because that's also who he has. I told him whenever Chubb comes back healthy, you should drop him and then pick him back up for $1. Just because I feel like he has a pretty good future in the NFL.
Did he do that?
No, he still has him.
He still has him for $100 or something?
Yeah, he only has $2 left, so literally...
Well, he could just drop him and pick him up for $2.
Yeah, he should now at this point. He doesn't...
If he does drop him, I'll put in a $1 bid, so he'll have to do $2.
$2 is better than $90. You can't keep him for that price.
Yeah, right.
But I agree. I like Ernest Johnson for the future, and also possibly for next week if you're really hurting at running back because Kareem Hunt is most likely out.
Yeah, if you really have to start someone, I would rather start Penny than Johnson this week. But if you're hurting at running back, put in a claim for both because if someone else gets Penny and you get Johnson, you can definitely do worse than that.
Yeah,
he's gonna take that Kareem Hunt role. He might do well with it.
Yeah, I like it. I like him as a stash, and I like him as a desperate running back running back play.
Yep.
All right. Next guy we got on our list is KJ Osborne.
Yep, KJ Osborne
for Minnesota.
This one is obviously assuming Adam Thielen is still out. If Adam Thielen's back, at least for me, I have no interest in KJ Osborne anymore.
No.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But with Thielen out, man, Osborne, I could almost argue that I'd rather start Osborne over Davis and St. Brown if Thielen is out.
Yeah, because he basically is getting the same amount of volume that Thielen would get. He's just replacing the job that Thielen had.
The number 2 running back or the number 2 wide receiver for Minnesota has had a lot of value for the last 5 years.
Yeah. He had 9 targets last week, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. He only caught 3 of the 9, but he got 15.8 fantasy points.
Yeah, honestly, if he's in that spot again next week, he'll probably get 9 targets again. He'll probably catch more than 3
I would feel
of them.
pretty good about his floor in the fantasy playoffs if I had him and Thielen wasn't starting.
Yeah.
I would assume that he's not going to. He had a high ankle sprain. He was ruled out last week, and it's looking like it's going to be a game-time decision this week, and I would lean more on the not going to happen side of things.
I would bet Thielen is out this week, but it sounds to me like it would be likely that he's back after this week.
Right.
So if you're getting Osborne, it's not a rest of season pickup.
No,
more
it's
than
like
likely.
this week, survive. It's a survival round.
Right.
Pick up who you can
Right.
and hope you make it through it.
Yeah, I mean, so I think if you're in that spot, I would put my number 1 claim on Osborne, but just in case you don't get him, St. Brown or Davis are right behind him.
Man, Justin Jefferson's been killing it towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
I guess
man.
the whole season.
He's been killing it the whole season, but when Thielen's out, he's a lock.
Yeah.
For top 3 receiver that week.
14 and 15 targets.
Yeah.
That is the most in the league. Consistently, at least the last 2 weeks.
Well,
14 and
over
15.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp has had a 2-week stretch where he did that before, too.
Right. I'm sure he has, but I mean, yeah. That's crazy. He's getting so much volume.
Justin Jefferson, he's really good.
He's
Talent-wise, I think he might be the best receiver in the league.
You think Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in the league?
Yeah. When I watch him, he's literally open on every single play. I feel like if Minnesota just said, look, on every play, we just want to throw to Justin Jefferson, they could do that, and they would be very successful. But they're like, that's getting kind of boring. Let's do some other stuff.
Man, I had no exposure to him either this year. I had no exposure to Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson. This is But I'm in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. I had exposure to other things.
Who would you prefer for the last 3 weeks, Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp?
I mean, I'd probably just say Cooper Kupp.
They're close though, right?
Let's see here. Justin Jefferson's playing Chicago, Rams, and Green Bay.
I agree with you. I'd say Kupp too, but they're really close in my opinion.
And Cooper Kupp, who has just this past week had 15 targets for the first time. He's got Seahawks, Minnesota, and Baltimore. Yeah, I like Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's like a...
Yeah, he's the number
I bet you
receiver.
there's some teams that are just like absolute trash.
There could easily be a team that has Jefferson and Kupp.
That made the playoffs just because they had Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee that.
Like, just trash across the board, Cooper Kupp made the playoffs.
I bet there's a handful of teams out there that have Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp.
Probably. I was trying to think.
Jefferson was going in like the second round, Kupp in like third or fourth. You could have easily drafted both.
I was thinking about this today. There could be fantasy football teams out there that have Debo, Kupp, and Justin Jefferson all on the same team.
And Taylor.
And who?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. What round did he go in?
He was like late first.
Late first, yeah. I mean,
if you were picking in that spot, you could have taken Taylor there and then gone those 3 receivers after that.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And had just like a unbeatable fantasy football team. Like no chance for anyone else.
Yep.
All right, we got a question. This is from Charlie. Pick 3 to start. Just so I can't see it. What does it say?
Claypool, Valdez-Scantling, Lazard, Rashad Penny, Parker. I think that's Devontae Parker.
Yeah. So Claypool, Lazard, Penny for Seahawks, and Parker. And then the other guy was...
Lazard, Rashad Penny, Devontae Parker, Valdez-Scantling is the other one.
Oh, nope.
Well, I definitely prefer Lazard over Scantling.
Yeah, me too. Especially after watching what we watched this week.
Yeah, he was clearly the number 2 option. And he looked pretty good.
I feel like Claypool's kind of pissed off the entire Steelers team.
Yeah, it's a little tough because Claypool's my favorite player in this group, but I'm a little worried about what his role is going to be this week because Mike Tomlin was like super pissed off.
Oh yeah, Mike Tomlin does not like Chase Claypool.
I mean, I'm sure he likes him, but he was real pissed off after this week.
He doesn't like him this week.
Yeah, he currently is very angry with him.
Yes. 36 seconds left in the game, and he's...
Yeah. He almost blew the game.
Celebrating first down.
Possibly blew the game for him.
Yeah, he possibly did. It was pretty stupid. So I'd probably play Lazard, Penny, and Parker. That's probably what I'd do.
I think I would still play Claypool over Parker.
But this is Jets. It's the Jets.
That's true, but I don't know.
Penny,
I would go Claypool still.
I'd feel pretty confident that Penny is going to be very involved in the whole game, and
I would definitely include Penny in this group.
They're only projecting him at like, at least ESPN. I'm talking ESPN. They're only projecting him like 9 points.
I know. What's up with that? Are they projecting he's going to share work with Collins? Probably, but I don't actually see. Yeah, I don't actually think that's going to happen at all. I don't think that's going to happen either.
Yeah, they're projecting him at 8.8 points. I'd feel pretty confident in starting Rashad Penny.
Yeah, I think Lazard and Penny for sure, and then
I like Parker against the Jets.
You like Parker, I like Claypool, but man, that's a tough one.
Scantling or whatever, you can basically just...
Yeah, you can cut him out of this list.
You can just drop him to waiver wires.
Yeah, I mean, don't drop him if there's not someone worth picking up, but...
he sucks, but and then Claypool, it's just because of the drama he caused this week. I'm not sure. But I feel like they're going to do... I guess, I don't know. They're still playing to get in the playoffs, so they probably can't afford to.
I think they're going to need him.
Yeah. I don't know. And if it was a normal week, I'd play Claypool over Lazard. So my pick would be Penny, Parker, and Claypool.
I still like Claypool. What could happen is like they sit Claypool on the first drive just to make a point, and then after that they just play him the rest of the game.
And then they funnel him the ball down the field
because they have to. They have him and Johnson to throw the ball to.
Yeah,
they're clearly their best athletes.
Yep.
And they're gonna need to score a lot of points. Who do they play this week?
They play Tennessee.
Yeah, they're gonna need to score points against Tennessee.
Yep.
So I think he's gonna be involved. I don't think they can afford to just shut him down just because he made a mental mistake.
Yeah. Well, I think that does our all our waiver wire picks for this week. If you guys are listening and think of another one, put it in the chat.
And questions, throw them out there. We'll
talk about it. Right now, we're going to go into a segment where we're going to pick our personal top 5 Dynasty wide receivers for the rest of the season and the foreseeable future.
Yep.
All right, Josiah, and we'll just do one list.
Let's just.
Who's your number 5?
Start with 5?
Yeah.
My number 5 is Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel.
Yeah, Debo Samuel. I'll be honest, Debo Samuel's tough for me because long term, I have my concerns with him. Like he's always a little banged up, and also like long term, I don't usually have a lot of trust in like the hybrid receivers that are like half receivers, half running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have a lot of good seasons, but they don't last very long in the league. And so my concern with Debo is like, if that's what he's gonna be, he might only last another couple years in the league and then turn into an average receiver after that.
This past week, he only had one target for 22 yards. The rest of his fantasy points came from 8 rushing attempts.
Yeah, I think right now that's just because he was just coming off that injury.
Yeah.
I still really like him for the rest of this season. I still like him for Dynasty. He's my number 5. I mean, obviously, I still think he's a
Dynasty.
stud.
He's got a great rest of the season matchup as well, Atlanta, Tennessee, and Houston. So, I mean,
killer.
If he comes back healthy this week, I'd feel very confident in your opportunity to win your league.
Yeah, I like Debo.
I like Debo a lot. He's a good number 5.
Yep. I do definitely like my other 4 quite a bit better than him in Dynasty.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Tyreke Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. He's the stud that we all know him to be, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He plays on one of the best offenses in the league. He's got the best quarterback in the league throwing the ball to him. He's the fastest receiver in the league. Like, there's too many things going for him to not like him.
It's guaranteed every single time a new season starts, we're going to at least see one 40-point Tyreek Hill game.
Yep.
And it happened again this year at Week 4 against Philadelphia.
Yeah, and even when he doesn't have those games, he's still good. It's not
he still does good.
He doesn't give you 3-point weeks.
Most of the time, he's going to get you like 15 to 20 points. Every once in a while, he'll score you 3.
Did he have a 3-point game this year?
Mm-hmm. And he had a 4-point game.
Really?
Yeah, and a 5-point game.
But honestly, that's just part of the wide receiver position. Almost, if your name is not Cooper Kupp, that's happened to you too.
Yeah. And then, in fact, in Week 8, he got 18 targets.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. It was basically Tyreek Hill versus the Giants.
I don't understand about Tyreek Hill is like sometimes they'll go out and the game plan is just clearly throw the ball to Tyreek Hill every time.
Yep.
And it looks like it's super easy. And then next week they go out and they barely throw the ball. I'm like, I don't understand. Did
either.
You guys watch the game that you played last week? All you had to do was throw it to him and score touchdowns. And this week you don't even want to give him a chance.
Right.
But either way, he's still a great receiver.
Right.
You're always going to feel good about him. And I think he's got a good long-term.
He's still young. How old? He's like, what, 26,
mid-20s, yeah.
Yep, pretty obvious number 4. I like Tyreek Hill. Yep. Obviously, he's got the best quarterback throwing to him, and he's literally the fastest wide receiver in the league right now. I think the fastest we've seen him run on next-gen stats was like 23 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
Maybe 22.
Maybe 22.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's very fast.
Very fast. All right, number 3. Top Dynasty wide receiver for the fantasy playoffs and for the foreseeable future.
Number 3, Dynasty wide receiver for me is CeeDee Lamb. I think especially the reason he's number 3 for me over Tyreek Hill is because I think next year and going forward for many years after that, he's just going to blow up and be a stud.
Yeah, I can see that.
Honestly, I could see Dallas having to move on from Gallup and possibly even Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you just have to feed CeeDee Lamb. And he's perfectly capable of being that guy.
Yeah.
He's potentially the most talented wide receiver in the league.
You just said that about Justin Jefferson.
I said potentially. You could make the argument for both of them. I think probably Justin Jefferson might be. But I could understand the argument for both of those guys. They're extremely talented.
I like CeeDee Lamb. Seems like Dak Prescott is actually not done very well. I mean, I haven't actually watched the games. All I've watched is the lackluster fantasy performance coming from Dak Prescott. But
and Lamb's been pretty good lately.
Lamb has still been very good, and the main target for Dak Prescott, he had 13 targets in week 13, 10 in week 14.
Yeah, I like honestly even for the fantasy playoffs this year, I like CeeDee Lamb a lot.
Yeah, he's got the Giants, Washington, and Arizona. Arizona is I think probably my favorite matchup for wide receivers.
Yeah, just because
the game's gonna move quick.
And their defense isn't that good, but their offense is gonna score a lot of points.
Yeah.
So that means Dak's gonna have to throw the ball a lot against them.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of volume in those games. So for having CeeDee Lamb against Arizona in the fantasy playoffs, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I love CeeDee Lamb, man. In terms of talent, he's right there in the top 3 in the league, and that's why he's my top 3 dynasty wide receiver.
I like him. I like CeeDee Lamb. All right, we got 2 left. Number 2, I think it's obvious.
Number 2 is Justin Jefferson. We mentioned him a minute ago. He's right there with CeeDee Lamb in talent. I think what separates him a little bit more for fantasy purposes is he's a little bit more of a possession receiver, which makes him safer.
Yeah.
He's not a guy who's going to bust as often as Lamb might.
Right. His volumes is absolutely crazy. The next 3 games he has is Chicago, Rams, and Green Bay. Those are not my favorite matchups, but it doesn't matter because it's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they're pretty solid, and especially when Thielen's out, Jefferson might be the best receiver in the league.
Right, he's gonna get a lot of volume, even more than he normally gets.
Right.
I like.
He just doesn't bust. Like when you watch them play, I was saying this earlier. He's open on every single play. I really think Minnesota could just throw it to him on every single play, and be totally successful.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I don't know why. He's been in the league, 2 years now?
Yep, this is his second year.
2 years now. I don't know why I've never got on to the Justin Jefferson bandwagon. But obviously I'm full of regret.
Yeah,
because
he's good.
His floor is basically 10 points with the upside of mid-30s consistently.
Yeah, he's
especially like you said with Thielen being out, his target volume is almost doubled. And most likely Thielen's out this week, so especially for week 15, Justin Jefferson, if he's in your lineup, you should feel pretty comfortable.
How many points did he have last week?
17.
He
had 15 targets,
and I watched a good portion of that game. There was at least 2 balls where he was open, beat his guy. Kirk Cousins just missed him. At least one of them would have been a touchdown, but both of them were long plays. So, I mean, he nearly had another 30-point game.
Another 30-point game? Yeah, last week he had 182 yards.
Yeah, he had just no touchdowns. He would have had over 200 and at least 1 touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
if Kirk
probably...
could just hit him.
I mean, if we're just talking about this week, he's probably my number 1 for fantasy football, and also, since he's younger than Cooper Kupp, number 1 for dynasty purposes. But because we're not sure how long Thielen's out, I'd say he's a solid number 2. Number 1 is pretty obvious, because I've already said his name. And he is guaranteed to get you at least 10 targets a week. Or should I say Matthew Stafford is guaranteed to give Cooper Kupp 10 targets a week. His name is Cooper Kupp. And if you drafted him, most likely you made the playoffs.
Yeah, there's got to be a real high chance, right?
Unless your name is James, which happens to be my dad, who drafted him, was in a league where 6 out of 8 teams make the playoffs, and he still managed to not make the playoffs.
With Cooper Kupp on his team.
Anyways, Cooper Kupp, obviously the number 1 dynasty wide receiver in the league right now, and the number 1 wide receiver you want to own for the fantasy playoffs. He's got Seahawks this week. not going to make you sweat. He's got Minnesota in week 16 and Baltimore in week 17.
Yeah, it doesn't even
and
matter.
It doesn't really matter.
Matchups really don't matter for him at all.
His floor is 15 points.
Yeah.
You can just chalk it up, close your eyes, write 15 down on his score, and he'll either get that or more.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's
Going
a stud.
forward, I mean, him and Matthew Stafford are just a perfect combo. I couldn't imagine wanting to have any other receiver besides him on my Dynasty
Did you see the way they look at each other this week? They did an interview where they're standing next to each other, and they just had loving eyes just staring at each other.
If I were Cooper Kupp, I would love Matthew Stafford too.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford was doing the interview. Every single time he looked over at Cooper Kupp, it was like, I'm Matthew Stafford. I'm Matthew Stafford. I'm Matthew Stafford. Every time he looked at Cooper Kupp, he put a smile on his face. And Cooper Kupp just smiled back.
If you're Cooper Kupp, of course you love Stafford. He just turned his career into like a decent NFL career to like one of the best seasons of all time for a wide receiver.
Yeah. If you have Cooper Kupp, I mean, this is an obvious number one on this Dynasty wide receiver list. If you have him, good job. Good job getting him.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, and I am a little bit jealous of those that did.
Did you say, for Dynasty purposes, you'd rather have Justin Jefferson than Cooper Kupp?
No, I said this week I'd rather have Justin Jefferson than Cooper Kupp.
Oh, this week.
For
Gotcha.
Because Thielen's
I thought
out.
you said because Justin Jefferson's younger, you thought you would rather have Jefferson.
Oh, yes, I did say that. And yeah, maybe.
I'd still rather have Kupp. Kupp's young. Kupp's
He's like 25, I think.
25, like super young.
Super young. Justin Jefferson's like 22, though. 3 more years.
I'm not, I don't know. To me, that doesn't matter because
Yeah, it doesn't
I
really
think
matter.
Cooper Kupp's
Whatever.
going to be great for 5 years. And so
He's
in
gonna be
6 years, I'm not looking 6 years down the road.
Right, right.
If he was like 29, then I could see that.
Yeah, no. Cooper Kupp's got several years left, and just insane volume. Literally, there's only been 1 week in the history of this season where Cooper Kupp got less than 10 targets.
10 targets, yeah.
And that week it was 9.
And only one with less than 10 points, right? For half PPR.
Only one less than 10 points, and
that's half PPR. If you're in a PPR league, he scored more than 10
every week. Every week,
Yep.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
If you're in a PPR, like a straight up PPR league, he got you 13 points just from catching the ball.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy. That's our list for this week.
Yep, that's our Dynasty receivers.
I think that
were there any guys that you thought were close on that list that we didn't talk about?
Not that I can think of right now.
Like Jamar Chase was off that list. Would you rather have Chase over any of those guys?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. That's a good one. That'd probably be number 6 for me because
he was close. For me, it was close between Chase and Samuel.
I love the Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase connection that they have, and I feel like it's gonna be like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen type thing, where they're gonna be together for a long time, and their chemistry is just gonna grow more. So I like Jamar Chase a lot, especially since he's like close to breaking rookie records as far as like the yardage that he's put up in his first year in the NFL.
I mean, Justin Jefferson was better last year.
Right, I said he's close.
Yeah.
So I love Jamar Chase. He would be.
Yeah, he's good. For me, when I was putting this together, like those top 4 guys were like.
I might put him above Debo Samuel just because.
Yeah, they were close. I could totally understand having Chase over Samuel.
Just because
I feel like those top 4 guys were like a tier of their own, and then after that, there were kind of a handful of guys.
Yeah, Debo already seems to have some injury issues.
Oh yeah, this is his 3rd year in the league. He's dealt with injuries every year.
Yeah. In Jamar Chase, we only
also
have
Devonte Adams was off that list.
Right, I don't think he's like. I think we've seen peak Devonte Adams possibly.
Yeah, my worry with Devonte Adams is he won't have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball next year.
Right. So we'll see what happens there. I feel like Devonte Adams has like maybe another year or 2.
I'm sure Devonte Adams will still be a top 10 receiver next year.
Right.
He's super talented.
But for
Dynasty purposes, he's older than all these guys we talked about.
Right.
And we don't know where he's going to be playing next year. So
yeah. I feel like the list is pretty solid.
Yep, I feel good.
All right. Well, I think that is all we got for this week. If you were watching 25 minutes ago, sorry, our computer froze and we had to come back. But that is everything we got. If you made the fantasy playoffs, I hope you win your league unless you're playing me, which Josiah is not yet. But Josiah, I hope you lose your fantasy playoffs so I can win. And we'll find out. Oh, no, wait. We're going to do a draft, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, did you want to do the fantasy playoffs head-to-head draft?
So this is what we're going to do, and then we're going to call the stream. We're going to do a head-to-head fantasy playoff draft.
Yep.
Basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to pick a quarterback. Josiah's going to pick a quarterback. We're going to pick a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a flex for the next 3 weeks. Till the playoff
Fantasy
Super Bowl.
playoffs, week 15, 16, 17.
We're gonna put $20 up, so the winner gets $40.
We're gonna do total points.
Total points.
Total points. Yeah, I like
total
that.
points.
We'll do scoring based off of our main league, right? So like half PPR, 6 points for passing touchdown.
Yes. That's what we'll do. All right.
You want to pick first?
So yeah,
we'll just go.
I'll
you,
pick
me,
first.
you, me, you, me. You pick whatever.
Pick whatever player, whatever position. No, let's do by position.
No, I think we just do whatever player.
Okay, whatever player? Okay,
yeah.
That's harder. Let me see here. I got to look at this list. Most likely, you are going to lose.
Should we put money on this?
Yeah, I just said we're going to do $20 a person, right?
Yeah, $20. I like it.
And then, okay, well then I'm going to pick Cooper Kupp.
All right. It's a good one. I'm going to take...
I'm going to write mine down.
I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor.
All right. Jonathan Taylor. I've got a wide receiver. I need to write down that next to it. All right. So you have Jonathan Taylor. I've got Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
We're doing one person to each position.
Yep, in a flex.
If we're doing the flex, let me see here.
You're going to go another receiver already?
I might. I'm just checking. I'm just seeing my options here. Oh wait, and we're not doing. It's not a super flex, so there's no
just
double quarterbacks,
just need one quarterback.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna do Justin Jefferson.
Taking Jefferson, huh?
Yep.
All right.
You got Jonathan Taylor.
Shoot.
That's who you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was hoping to get Jefferson.
I'm glad you don't have him.
All right, I'm going to take...
I'm glad I took that from you.
Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin. Okay, so you got Jonathan Taylor and Chris Godwin.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to do... Let's go to running back. Let me see this. Oh, man. I need to see... Okay. I got to think about this because I need it to be the best ever.
Got to recoup the $25 that you're going to lose on the Adrian Peterson bet somehow, huh?
Oh, yeah, I do. No, let's just make it $25. We're just doing 25.
Okay,
the
we'll
winner
do
gets
25.
50, yeah.
All right.
Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to pick Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, all right. You're going Jefferson and Cook, huh?
Yeah.
Stacking up on the Minnesota guys. You might as well take Kirk Cousins, too.
I might as well.
Okay, I'm going to take Josh Allen.
Okay, you got Josh Allen, who might be injured this week, and it counts. I
think he'll be good.
There's no replacements. If your guy's injured, and
Yep.
and you lose him.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to pick Matthew Stafford.
All right, you got Stafford. I'm taking Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, big mistake.
Oh, he's going to be a stud. There's no Kareem Hunt. We know Cleveland doesn't want Baker Mayfield throwing the ball.
Nope.
That's a mistake.
All right, tight end spot. I get to pick first. Fantastic. I'm going to pick... I'm looking.
Is it going to start with a K?
His last name's probably going to start with a K. because it's Kelsey and Kittle.
Yep.
I'm going with Kittle.
All right. I like Kelsey.
George Kittle is my tight end, and you just lost.
All right. There it is.
Man, wouldn't it be magical if that was actually my team in the fantasy playoffs?
Yeah, right.
Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Matthew Stafford, and George Kittle. Do we want to do any last-minute changes? Are you all right with that? Like, if you want to change one spot, because I just want to look at one thing real quick.
Do you?
Yeah. And I've decided I'm happy with what I picked. All right. That's it. Done.
Good.
We did it.
That's the teams.
That's the teams.
We'll keep you guys updated.
We'll keep you guys updated week.
Let us know in the comments whose team you think is going to win.
And are we doing total points, right?
Yeah, total points for the next 3 weeks.
So it's not like we're versing each other this week.
Nope.
We're versing each other for 3 weeks, and whoever has the most total points wins.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in if you did, and we will see you on Thursday if you want for the DraftKings show, where last week we built a lineup that was 25th overall in the Millionaire Maker. So if you want to copy us and make money, you should have done that last week. We'll see if we'll do it again this week. That's all we got for you today. Josiah.
And peace out, guys. Good luck in your fantasy playoffs.